Here we'll solve some more linear equations, and these linear equations involve fractions. And again, there are multiple ways of solving it, but we'll see what the best way for each problem is. We have to solve for x. Remember, these are linear equations because the exponent on x is 1. So remember, before we do anything else, the first thing is to simplify both sides completely, combine the terms in a way that there is one single x term on one side and all the constants are on the other side. So let's see, we have 1/3 x, -3/5 x, and we need to combine these two. It's not easy, or at least you cannot do it right away, because we need to take a common denominator to add fractions. You can use your calculator to do this, or you can do it by hand. And then of course we have +4. Always consider the sign of the number when you're adding numbers. +4 minus 1 is +3. 4 minus 1 is 3, and that's equal to 7. The LCM of 3, 5 is 15 if you want to do this by hand. Or if you want to use a calculator, go 1/3 minus 3/5 equals, you get a decimal number, but then convert it to a fraction. That's another way of doing it. So let's do this by hand. Calculator is easy. Just make sure you know how to use your calculators. Now, in order to make the denominator of 15, I go 5x over 3 times 5. You're multiplying the numerator and denominator by 5 to make the denominator of 15, minus multiply the numerator and denominator by a 3 to make the denominator of 15 on the second expression. So we're done with this and this. Plus a 3 equals 7. So we have 5x over 15 minus 9x over 15. The reason why we want a common denominator is because we want to combine the terms and get a single x term. There has to be only one term containing x in the entire equation. So the next thing is 5 over 15. So this is what we're doing, 5 over 15 minus 9 over 15x. So that is -4 over 15x. We're subtracting fractions with the same denominator. So that's 5 minus 9 over 15, and that's how I get -4 over 15. And of course, an x is multiplied to it. Plus 3 equals 7. So we have a single x term, in this case on the left. Now we need to get rid of this. We need to get x by itself on the left. So we have to subtract both sides. So subtract -3. Subtract 3 on both sides, which is what we're doing here. Subtract 3 on both sides. So we have -4 over 15x. -3 and +3 make a 0. And 7 minus 3 is 4. Now we need to get rid of the -4 over 15. And now that's multiplied to x. Now the only way in which, not really the only way, you could divide both sides by -4 over 15, which is the same as multiplying both sides by the reciprocal. This is the same as dividing both sides by -4 over 15. And do the exact same thing. Multiply the right side also by -4 over 15. Make sure you have a clear multiplication sign. If not, you would think you're subtracting. So the 4's cancel, the 15's cancel, the minuses cancel each other and become a plus. So you're left with a 1x. equals, the 4's cancel, and you have x equals negative 15. Now we're going to see very similar equations. Now, if you see a lot of fractions on the left and on the right, I'm going to show you another technique. First, let's put an equal to sign here. You have a 2 and a 3 in the denominator. Okay. So what we're going to do is, on the left and on the right, we're going to get the common denominator, which is the LCM of 2 and 3, and that's equal to 6. So what do we do in order to get a 6 here? So I go 1 over 2. How do I make it a 6? Multiply with the 3. It's just like taking the LCM. So I multiplied the numerator and denominator by 3. Now every term has to have a 6 in the denominator, including this one. So you have 2 times, I need a 6, so I multiply by 6, the numerator and denominator. So I needed a 6, so this is what I've done. I need a 6 here, so I go 3 times 2, but then I have to do the exact same thing in the numerator. So you have 2 over 6. So I have 3 over 6 times whatever equals 6 times 2 is 12x over 6 minus 2 over 6. Now what's the advantage of having 6 throughout the equation on both sides on every single term? Now if I multiply both sides by 6, the 6's cancel. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 6. And remember, because of distribution, each gets a 6, which means the 2 6's cancel each other out. So you have 3 times 6x minus 3 equals 12x minus 2. You can cancel all the 6's as long as every single term on the left and on the right have a common number. You can cancel that out. You don't even have to show anything. So for example, let me show you a quick example here. Suppose you have 3x plus 1 over 6 plus 1 over 6 equals 5 over 6 plus x over 6. The whole idea of getting the common denominator is you multiply both sides by 6 and evenly all the 6's in the denominator. As long as every single term has a 6 in the denominator, it gets cancelled, and now you have a regular equation without fractions. So if you do a little bit of work, you can get rid of all fractions. Now you go about simplifying the expression first using the distributive property. 6 times 3 is 18 minus 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 equals 12x minus 2. We have x's on both sides. The point or the goal is to get all the x's on one side. So I'm going to subtract 12x on the right, subtract 12x on the left. Basically, I'm combining all the x's, bringing them all to one side. And then I get 18 minus 12, which is 6x minus 9 equals negative 2. Now I get rid of the 9 by adding 9 on both sides. 6x equals 7. Negative 2 plus 9 is 7. Now I divide both sides with a 6. I get x equals 7 over 6. So the next one, let's use the same technique. If you see fractions on the left and fractions on the right, take the LCM. And in this case, the LCM of 4 and 3 is 12. Just review LCMs and how to find LCMs. Now, what is our goal? Every single term, this, and this, has to have a 12 in the denominator. So what do we do to get a 12 in the denominator? We multiply by 3 in the denominator to make it a 12, but we have to do the exact same thing in the numerator. We need a 12 in the denominator. It was a 1. Now we need to do the exact same thing in the numerator. 3 times 4 is 12. We multiply with a 4. X times 4 is 4x. Right now it's a 1, 3 over 1, but we want to make it a 12. So I multiply with a 12. Do the exact same thing with the numerator. All we are doing is taking the LCM of 12. So this is equal to 3x over 12 minus 12 times 2, 24 over 12 equals 4x over 12 equals 36 over 12. Now, if you have 12 in the denominator on every single term, you can multiply both sides with a 12, and that's going to cancel it all out. So now you have 3x minus 24 equals 4x minus 36. We have an x term on the right, on the left, and an x term on the right. Now let's get rid of the x term on the right. We want to combine all the x's, bring it to one side, subtract 4x on both sides. So you get 3x minus 4x is negative x minus 24. Positive 4x and negative 4x cancel each other out, so you have negative 36. Now I add 24 on both sides. Adding 24 on both sides, I get a negative x equals a negative 36 minus 24, which is negative 12. And now I multiply both sides with a negative 1, or divide both sides with a negative 1. Negative times negative, x negative 1 times negative 12 is positive 12.